10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good golly, Miss Molly. Welcome to the channel, That 70s Rock Fan, with me, your host, That 70s Rock Fan, well, Brian. So I thought all the big guys stream on a Friday. Why don't I do it too? I'll just take a tiny little bit of their audience away. Um, So here we are, because it's a while since I've done a physical media stream. It's been a fairly quiet time on the channel. Still things going on, and we're still climbing up there on the subscriber count up to 2080 today. But because I've had this new addition to the household, our little puppy girl, Ivy, last couple of weeks have been a little bit distracting for me because we got to get her into the groove, and she's certainly settled in very well. And I may be able to start returning to doing more streaming and videos soon. So we'll certainly hope so, because gotta keep this stuff going. But I thought it would be nice today to do a physical media catch up from the latest thrift store and a couple of new things. Latest. Hello, Davina. It's always good to see you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for all your modding that you do on the channel and for all your continuous support. Does physical media lead to a network library like Plex or Jellyfin? Well, I do have a Plex library. I do rip a lot of that physical media and place it on that library along with other media that I find elsewhere. It's not everything though. I haven't done everything. There was a time where I had every single movie or tape or DVD on my library, but at various points some of them have dropped off. But I do try and take if I get a DVD of a movie, especially if I'm going to do something about it on the channel, I'll definitely rip and get a copy of it. Plex is my library of choice. I know there are others. You mentioned one there, Jellyfin. I think Plex is probably the right one for me. It seems to work pretty well. I've got a server because I have a network attached storage where I do a lot of stuff on. The Plex server is on there, and then all my devices in the house can access it as a library. I don't allow external access though, because it's so if I'm out of the house, I can't access that library. I like to keep it disconnected. It's purely internally behind my firewall, as it were. And there's a lot of stuff on there, and all the music too, because I tend to use. Although I have iTunes, and I've had iTunes for many years. I tend not to use that as a player. Weirdly enough, I put everything on Plex and play it there. I have been up and down this one like the Assyrian Empire. I used to rip everything, and that goes right back to VHS days when you could first start digitizing VHS. And then I kind of stopped, and now I'm kind of doing it again because I like to have, whilst I love to have this burgeoning collection of physical media behind, being restored recently from its glory days years ago, and then it declined. I like to have access on the without having to fire up the Blu-ray player. I like to just be able to access it digitally over on the big computer over there. So I have a setup sitting over there in the other half of the basement. I've got the couch, the big TV, network attached storage, Blu-ray player, even got an old VHS, another file server, the record player, and a gaming PC, which I built. And all that stuff is that entertainment complex over there. Over here on the studio side, I got one, two, three screens up on the wall, which I did earlier this year in front of me. And I got screen here in front of me, and I have the laptop here. So, and that is powered by another gaming PC, which I have down here. So when I'm doing game streams, I use this gaming PC with Steam on both of them. And I usually try and have cloud saves so I can just switch between the two. If I'm playing just for fun and not streaming, it's always on the over there because I can lounge about on the couch. If I'm doing it for streaming, it's over here in the studio. I have a studio, you know. So I do not. Well, I have an Apple TV. That's another thing that's over there under the TV. So the Apple TV, I always liked it because it's small. I can have all my iTunes stuff on it, but also the Netflix app on it and the Amazon app and some other apps that I use on it. It's nice to have all those in one place. You could theoretically have them all on the PC as well. I've always found the Apple PC is a nice little small box that works. It's always worked very well for me. Hell, I've got all my old ones. I've got like each generation. I've kept them. I haven't got rid of them. So, but I don't subscribe to music services or anything like that. I tend to just play my own collection or play stuff on YouTube because I'm kind of lazy that way. I don't really want to pay extra for, given that I only occasionally get bursts of desire to get new music. So yeah, the hard drive thing was an issue, but now you can get a NAS with like, well, I've got a 12 terabyte one over there. You could easily get more. Hell, you can get what 40 terabyte hard drives now. So I could easily ramp that thing up. Trying to keep it under 12 terabytes. I do purge occasionally, and I've got a backup server too. I tend to use everything network cabled if I can. I'm joined today, however, by my good friend, and we're still cleaning up after his visit. He's been a real mess. The great Christian Delorme is here.
Yes, yes, and you know what? To add insult to injury, I left the toilet seat up.
You did leave the toilet seat up, and that's why I fell into
I
the
did.
toilet. I fell right into
That's
the
right.
toilet.
Hi, Brian. How are you doing, my
I'm
friend?
all right, mate. Good to see you. Where are you? Are you in a hotel room right now, or are you back home?
We no, 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 no. We are in West Edmonton Mall hotel room. What do they call this place now? Fantasyland. Fantasyland Hotel, where every floor is a different theme. We are on the 11th floor, and we are in the Roman theme room. So yeah, we got a round
Ah,
bed, we got pillars, we
you've
got
got
look at
people.
that,
You
look
got
at
people
that.
being. You got people being crucified, shouting, "I am Spartacus," that kind of thing.
That's right, and it's to us Catholics, it's the closest thing to Jesus. So you know,
Yes, you
it's
know,
very religious too.
everybody should think of the Roman Empire at least once a day. I think
I know, and little known fact, the Romans made the best cement ever.
they
Their
did.
cement lasts, yeah, it lasts 2,000 years. Imagine
They
that.
and it actually they made it so that it could set in water, so they could build harbors.
Yeah,
It would set in the water.
yeah.
That's an incredible thing.
Nowadays, you do a driveway in concrete, and it starts cracking after 5 years.
That's right.
Imagine that.
We need the return of the Roman Empire. We know we do.
Absolutely, the
Yeah,
Senate at least.
they do. So, West Edmonton Mall does indeed. Davina is asking, does it have a roller coaster? Yes, it does. It,
and a awesome water park,
A
Davina.
water
Multiple
park.
slides for kids and a wave pool. It's wonderful,
Yeah,
Davina.
and it has sea lions and other such things too.
Sea lions. It's got a galley that for $2 a person you can go visit the galley. It's no bigger than the Santa Maria, which is what Christopher Columbus, the Nina and the Pinta, about the same size that they crossed the Atlantic in 1492 to discover the New World.
It's incredible, incroyable.
Hey,
It is.
but you flatter me when you speak my language.
It is an incredible place. I was there last year for a little while, West Edmonton Mall. I don't care
And
about the shops. I just like the other stuff.
but I did find a Celtic shop. Yeah, I sent you that.
Celtic
You know,
Geek.
it's got
Yeah.
kilts, Celtic Geek. It's got everything Scottish, and yeah.
I might be able to show that if I can. Hang on. I'm going to show that picture. So
Well,
this is going to technologically challenge me, but I'm going to try it.
it's a lot better than me. I can do it to save my life. So go ahead, my friend.
All right. Oh, did you?
Mel,
No,
it
no,
seems
no,
that.
no. You texted it to me. I was looking at WhatsApp. You texted it to me.
Oh, wait. No. I have to get offline and send it to you. But it's got a blue kilt. It's got steins. It's got everything. Everything Scottish. It's great. Scottish and Irish. So they kind of blended both together.
I'm going to WhatsApp this to myself if I can.
That'd be cool.
Can you actually WhatsApp yourself? I don't know if you can.
You're way ahead of me, sir.
Oh yeah, you can message yourself.
All right, cool.
All right, let's see if this works. It's got to synchronize with the PC app. I'll start it up again. And then we'll get started on the physical media, which was theoretically the what I was trying to do today, but you get sidetracked.
Well, I know French tourists show up in Alberta and they screw it all for the rest of yous.
Right, I'm going to see if I can find myself, Brian. It's just like I'm going on a spiritual voyage. I'm going to find myself.
But while you're doing that, Davina, I'll answer. Have fun at the mall, Davina. We went through the whole mall, and it's female centric. There it is.
Celtic Geek.
I saw that, and I'm like, "This is Brian." I'm going to take a picture and send it to him.
Yeah. I must have missed that when I was there. I don't remember seeing it, but maybe I don't like walking around stores, so I probably didn't see it.
I don't. You know what? You know how I saw it? My wife was shopping at the store beside it, and I was sitting like a good husband in the aisle there beside the tree on the bench. And I'm like, "Hey, Celtic Geek. Hey, Brian, you're never too far from my thoughts."
They're being very inclusive. They've even got a Welsh flag in there.
I know. Well, the make believe country of Welsh. Right. Invented by J.R.
Tolkien invented it. Yeah, pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
So
Wales.
Anyway, so other than that, I wanted to say, obviously today is June the 6th, so the 81st anniversary of D-Day. Yes. So here are some of the remaining veterans. This is posted by the British Normandy Memorial. This is a few of them. There are others, but 81 years ago, so we're rapidly running out of these heroes. And I think
that means these men. Yeah, that means these men are like at least hovering around 100, if not 100 plus.
Oh, 100 plus. Yeah, it's going to be a sad day when there's none of them left, and it's going to be a terribly sad day. But we must salute those heroes. 81 years ago,
absolutely,
those beaches. So at least there's a few of them still around for us to thank and salute. So, they just couldn't do today without mentioning that.
Well, same here, and nobody. Yes, Hale Lorthot, a former Canadian military, a guy who plays with NHLer hockey, a local. He lives in my town in Orleans, and just an all-around great guy. Plus, he's a drummer.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Right. Well, here, Lorthot, I got a joke that Brian doesn't know, or he keeps forgetting to tell. How do you know a drummer is knocking at the door? The knocking gets faster.
A
little drummer joke. Yeah,
I
knock
like that
speeds
one.
up.
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know when the drum riser is level?
Something about drooling,
Because
right?
the drummer drools equally out of both sides of his mouth.
Yes, being a drummer, I know all these jokes. I forgot a few, but anyway, good one, Brian.
Yeah, let me hide that on the stream. The other news, of course, today, which is nowhere near as stunning as that, is the Dallas Stars have
The,
indeed parted ways with Pete DeBoer.
mm,
So they've sacked Pete
the
DeBoer.
coach?
Yes, partly for failing to make the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row after being in the conference final, partly because of the way he handled the whole Jake Ottinger thing in the last series, and I think a general lackadaisical attitude. He lost the dressing room, many other things. I was never a fan, particularly in the first place, because I think he's far too soft as a coach. And he's created a
Right.
soft attitude in the team, which they showed. They were brutally exposed against Edmonton. So there we go.
Okay.
Pete DeBoer is moving on. I wish him all the best. I'm sure he'll be snapped up pretty quick, as he does have a good track record, other than getting to the Stanley Cup final.
But mind you, being in the city of Edmonton, I got some personal man on the ground news. It like Oilers fever, okay, has caught the city. It's like a prairie fire up here. Everybody is wearing an Oilers shirt, whether it's Ryan Smith shirts, whether it's McTavish shirts. Like I've even seen a guy with a Messier shirt. Okay, it's just crazy up here. Everybody, and
Yeah,
even the little Filipino chick that can barely speak English, serving me at McDonald's, is wearing a Oilers shirt. It's great.
it's unbearable, insufferable. I've got Oilers friends texting me all the time, Anyway,
Yeah, but rubbing your nose into it.
it's if they'll never get a better chance to win it than this year. I don't think so.
I hope, and as a heartbroken Ottawa Center fan who just is a glutton for punishment, I hope that Edmonton wins more than Florida.
Did you go and take a look at their arena, the Oilers arena, Rogers
No,
Arena?
no,
Oh,
no,
you should.
no.
It's
We didn't
magnificent.
do that.
Yeah, you should
Really?
head. You should
Okay.
head there. It's magnificent. Yeah, it's a brilliant arena, and it's quite a good area around it. It's a couple of good bars, although they'll be heaving today, obviously. But
Oh, big
uh,
time. There won't be any room for me down there. No, we went downtown Edmonton. We went to Jasper Avenue, where my lovely wife used to hang out as a teenager
yeah.
after the school dances. And I was lucky enough to see your Alberta legislature. So I thought that was
Oh,
pretty cool.
yes, my heart. Be still, my beating heart. I'm trying to find the photographs from my last trip to Edmonton to see the Stars play, because I have photographs inside the arena and it is pretty spectacular. Hang on.
But I will commend you, Albertans. I've been in Calgary and I visited Brian when I was in Calgary, and I've been in Edmonton. And you know what's the big difference between you guys here in Alberta and us in Ontario and Ottawa? There's no homeless people anywhere.
It's too
Like
cold.
Ottawa is littered. Maybe,
It's too
maybe.
cold.
Like you go to Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec City, some of the best tourist attraction. You got homeless people left, right, and center. They're actually encouraged, crackheads and everything. It's
Yeah.
quite a change.
Oh, it is quite different. Yeah. I wish I could find I never know where I do with my damn photographs. I really don't. Like I should be able to just go, oh, there they are. No, can't find it. That's a shame, because I had photographs of various things inside the arena, all the Gretzky gear that you can see if you go up to the lounge area that you can buy the buffet at before the game, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I had all that, but can't see it right now.
Oh, actually, I was before I joined you, Brian. Just to tell you how Oilers fever is. I met two lads at the hotel that I'm at. I was at the lounge. I met two brothers
Yeah.
from the Northwest Territories sporting Edmonton Oilers shirt.
Ah, right. Well, you see, that's because they're so backward up there. They're so behind the times.
Okay, maybe.
Just kidding.
They're still celebrating 1990s win.
Yeah, well, yeah, some of them, there's people, think of the people that have been born since then. Haven't seen that.
Right.
What the hell did I do with those? That's a real shame because I had some wonderful road trip photos. Is this it? Hang on, view. No, different road trip.
Pops. Yeah, D-Bud, you're right.
Never mind. Hey, D-Bud, good to see you. Right, so I'm going to commence my run through this gigantic pile. I have big piles here of physical media. So I'm going to pay my obligation to the tax man as I write this stuff off to actually show it on screen. Buffet. A buffet as well. Buffet. Buffet. It's French. It's a French word for eat like a pig. Buffet.
But except it's buffet. Buffet.
Well, that's what
That's
I said.
the proper spelling.
Buffet. I said buffet.
Yeah, but D-Bud heard it as an American buffet.
A buffet.
Boofay.
Buffet. I'm buffet.
No. My favorite word that Brian says is book.
Book.
Okay, now he's changed it. Yeah,
book,
now you do.
Book.
There we go.
Get over here for donuts. Don't listen to him, man. He's a hoser.
Damn straight I am.
Good day, eh?
Good day.
Right. So let me run through these A to Z. This is the latest. Some of these are new, but most of them are thrift store. The latest finds. Some of them, a couple of duplicates, but I always pick those up because I can send them to people then, you see. So, yes, Avon lives, correct. So, Apollo 13 2-disc collector's edition.
Nice.
Let's get that bigger. Let's embiggen it. The good thing about that is
That's what she said.
The good thing is I can't see Christian anymore. I can see the bed that he's been lying on, though. There we go.
No, the mirror on the ceiling.
So this was really nice, picking up the 2-disc collector's edition for a couple of bucks. No booklet inside or anything, though. Unfortunately, if there was, it's gone. But the discs are there, and then it's a pretty tight package. Lots of extras on.
That's what she said.
That's all right. So I do love this movie. I've always loved it. I love space stuff anyway. I know it's a pretty technically accurate, I believe, and it looks the part. Brilliant movie. It's nice to have a movie that's really has drama without having to have action, if you know what I mean. It's a struggle for survival and a challenge to overcome. So that's what I like about it. So Apollo
and it's
13.
back in the day when Hollywood had good writers. You did not need to add actions. You actually had good writers that could write good script and good drama and good tension and suspense.
Well, one of the guys that wrote it was a guy called William Dodson Broyles, and he was a former U.S. Marine Corps officer who co-wrote this movie.
Oh,
which I think is awesome.
Nice.
Anyway, Apollo 13,
Agreed.
Great movie. That was at the top alphabetically in this list. Then there's a big gap to the letter G, and I got a copy of Get Shorty.
Oh, that was a great movie.
Which is a fun movie. Barry Sonnenfeld. Great to see, obviously, looking back at it now, Gene Hackman in another fabulous role. It's a funny movie. Great one. So nice to get a copy of that on physical media. I had all these digitally anyway, but now I've got it. Now I've got it physically, you know what I mean? So I do like Barry Sonnenfeld movies, and Get Shorty is one of the great ones. Next one, though, is a duplicate. But I got it because it's got a completely different cover from the other one I've got. It's the magnificent Goon. And this is the...
Yeah.
Oh, you've never seen Goon? Well, I'm going to... See, I should have given you...
Never seen Goon.
Then. Maybe you'll be getting a copy of that in the post then. Because this is the second...
Fair enough.
This is my second copy. The other one's just a completely different cover. And this one, I guess, is the... Because it's got the subtitle Last of the Enforcers. The other one just says Goon. Goon. It's Goon in Scotland. Goon.
Goon. But is it a documentary or is it like a feature film?
Oh, no, it's a comedy, a feature film.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe because
Well,
it had hockey and all that,
this
it
guy's
was
supposed to
about an enforcer.
be a French Canadian player. He's the star.
Okay. Oh wow.
Sean William Scott's the goon that's hired to protect him on the ice, even though he can barely skate. And Liev Schreiber is the old goon who's about to retire, but he wants to take on the young pretender in a fight before the end. So it's a brutal, brutal movie, funny, but tons of fighting in it. It's written by Jay Baruchel, who's a Canadian comedian. I think Christian has frozen me. Anyway, Goon Last of the Enforcers. If anyone's never seen Goon, it's freaking awesome. Liev Schreiber is just so good in it. I'm going to lay you the fuck out. he's got this kind of Maine accent or something, or Newfie accent. It's the weirdest thing. Filmed in Halifax in Nova Scotia. Great movie. I do have clips from it. I should probably try and add those clips and play them. Yeah, screw it. I'll do it on Bourbon and Boarding. We play them. Right. So this is actually one that our good friend Tim FKHC recommended to me, as he knows the people who made it. He's friends with them. He's involved with them. I might crack this open and watch it today, actually. This is a documentary about Hammer Films made by Fanex. The Fanex Files, Hammer Films, lots of great interviews, I believe. Tim recommended it to me. I picked it up on Amazon. As you see, I haven't opened it yet, but I am looking forward to watching that because it's got some fantastic people being interviewed. So great job by the producers of this. Because I think, as it literally says, Fanex Files, they were just fans. So Christian, it's from 2009, written and directed by A. Susan Sevela. So definitely looking forward to seeing that. Christian is relying on hotel Wi-Fi, so that's always going to happen.
Not even. I'm not even connected to the Wi-Fi. I'm using my own data. But
Right.
okay, you froze and okay. I apologize for I screwed up the stream.
You didn't screw anything up, mate. I knew you'd come back.
Okay. All right.
I
Cool.
was just telling you more about the movie Goon, which you must watch because it's hilarious and it's full of requisite hockey violence. So,
the best.
So yeah, this I was just showing everybody. This Tim, our friend Tim, that's on FKHC, good supporter of the channel. He's involved. He was involved with this movie. He knows people who made it. It's a documentary about Hammer Films with lots of interviews. So it's a fan-made thing, but it's supposed to be really good. I'm going to crack that open later and watch it. So I got that new, of course. But speaking of Hammer, I got this. Now, there's a bunch of Hammer stuff out there on physical media in different collections. This is probably the most comprehensive collection. And there are dozens of movies, of course. This is the 21-disc collector's box set, which I got new, although it was on sale, so that was good. The Hammer collection. And as I know, Christian does like to get hammered. So
and I love my hammers, so
indeed. So this is a good starter set, in effect, for Hammer Films for people to get into it, with 20 movies and a special features disc. Lots of special features on each other disc, each separate disc. Now, being a 21 disc set, it's a little bit on the awkward side to get everything in and out of it. It's quite flimsy. You got to be quite careful, and the discs pop out. But I mean, given I got this for like, I don't know, $60 or something. You're getting 20 movies.
Very nice.
In a very, very nice set, with a booklet. And it does feature some of my favorites. So you've got Quatermass in the Pit, which is a brilliant sci-fi horror from back in the 58 or something. It's got The Devil Rides Out, which is a fantastic movie. Rasputin the Mad Monk. I like that one. Dracula, Prince of Darkness, To the Devil, a Daughter. I think it might have 1 million years BC on here. You know, Raquel Welch.
Wow. Really? Was that a Hammer film?
Oh, yeah, that was Hammer. Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that was a Hammer film. Just
Uh,
like Joe the other day didn't know that Over the Top was a Canon film.
yeah, no, that's right. 1 million years BC is indeed on this set.
Wow.
Plague of the Zombies, The Vengeance of She, The Horror of Frankenstein, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. So it's quite a mixture of the different stuff. There are obviously some famous ones not on here, but it is only a 21 disc collection as opposed to, you'd have to have a 500 disc collection to get them all. But yeah, that's a really
Right.
nice set. And I particularly, I'm going to sit down soon to rewatch The Devil Rides Out, Dennis Wheatley, Hammer with Christopher Lee, etc. So another thrift store one, although you can buy these for $5 in Walmart anyway. It's I couldn't resist picking it up for $1 though. 20 classic John Wayne westerns on 4 DVDs,
Nice.
unopened. So I thought, you know what? There's always room for a bit of John Wayne, especially
Pilgrim.
as Pilgrim. Get off your horse and drink your milk. It has at least one movie that I've wanted to get physically for a while, which is McClintock, which is
Yes, very good. Very good movie.
which was directed by Andrew McLagan, who directed Where Eagles Dare and the one we did recently, The Wild Geese. That's it. My mind has gone. But it also has Blue Steel, which is a pretty neat western. A few others.
Brian.
Yeah. You're frozen again.
Yeah. Check out your chat. Am I frozen now?
Holy moly!
Am I okay now?
You're okay now.
Sean, yes.
Sean.
Yeah, check out Sean. He's going to town.
He has gone to town indeed. Oh my God, Sean. Thank you so much, sir. Gifting 10 memberships, which is good because I'm going to have a member stream on Sunday. My member will be streaming on Sunday. So thank you.
Through the roof.
Very, very much, Sean, for that. I hope everybody that got a membership at least checks that out and enjoys the benefits of that. Sean, you are the man. Let's play a celebratory video for that then. It has to be something good. How about this one?
To be or not to be? Not to be.
I always love that one. To be or not to be? Not to be. The last action hero, of course. I was just looking to see if I had any goon clips here, but I don't. Not in this one. But anyway, thank you very much, Sean. I really appreciate all the support you've given the channel over the years. It's very, very much appreciated. You've made a humble man very old. Sorry, an old man very humble. Anyway, the John Wayne collection. There's probably some real clunkers on here, but there's probably but Clintock alone is worth having for $1. So, moving on, the Jays, a divisive movie, but one I've always actually really enjoyed. Stallone's Judge Dredd. In the future, one man is Dud Dury and Ekta. Have you ever seen this, Christian?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters when it came out back in the early 90s.
Just as well, because this includes a French language track.
But mind you, I like the remake, which is the one with Carl, the Australian actor, who was a little truer to the character, who kept his helmet on during the whole film. It was closer to Judge Dredd. Carl Urban doing that one in the towers there. That was a vanity.
Yeah. I have that one on 4K.
See, the problem.
Steelbook. I got a Steelbook.
The problem with Stallone is it's 50-50. It's either a vanity project or a hell of a good movie. You never know what you're going to get from Stallone.
Yeah. I always did enjoy this movie more than some people, though. I quite liked it. And and Judge Dredd is one of the characters, because I'm not a comic book guy, but Judge Dredd, I did read a lot of those comics because it was a British comic it was in.
Yeah.
So I was more familiar with it than I was ever the Marvel or DC stuff from comics. So I mean, I was familiar with those from TV or whatever. But so, anyways, but also it co-stars Armando Santi, who I met in a bar in Liverpool and had a good old chat with.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was very impressed that I knew who he was. So, nobody else.
And you were impressed to be sitting with him.
I had a good old chat with him, then a few beers with his cousin, who's his minder, and he was a good lad. We were all there for the Paul McCartney gig in the King's Dock in Liverpool. So Max von Sydow as well. But there you go. Great movie. I like it.
But you know what? It's something similar to Judge Dredd was Demolition Man. I enjoyed Demolition Man more than Judge Dredd.
Well, Demolition Man is one of the finest movies ever made.
There you go.
It's one of the greatest movies ever made, and very, very, very prophetic. It prophesized the future, and we're seeing it coming true from that movie. So next week's Toxic Tuesday on Nick's channel, and it was my suggestion that we do it, is Kingpin. That will be the subject of the next Toxic Tuesday.
The bowling alley, yes.
Kingpin with some deranged performances. One of the funniest movies around. Bill Murray is off the wall in this, but imagine losing your hand being a bowling guy. But I love the bit at the beginning when his girlfriend's got him cleaning the toilet because he's lost his hand, he can't earn a living, and she says, "You better do a good job there, because later on I've got another job for you, and you're going to eat something or other." It's disgusting. So the Farrelly
Is that the one with Woody
Harrelson?
Is that the one with Woody Harrelson?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
I just gotta say something. Woody Harrelson is the ultimate character actor of our times. You look at him from Cheers to Zombieland to Seven Psychopaths to True Detective. You look at him, Woody Harrelson and everything, like even Mockingjay, like the Hunger Games. You know what I mean? Like Woody Harrelson is a true. I don't know what's the English word to say, but he's the truest actor I know. He can play any role, whether it's comedy, drama. He's a cop. He's a murderer. He's a racist. He's you know what I mean? He's an idiot and. He's a cowboy. You know what I mean? Woody Harrelson is so underrated as an actor.
I don't disagree with you. Absolutely. I agree completely. You mentioned the True Detective. That series of True Detective was phenomenal. That was one of the best.
I bought the box set.
Yeah. But yeah, this is such a good
movie. I got the box set.
Farrelly brothers at their peak. It's such a good movie. Kingpin. Next Tuesday on Nick Visor's channel, Toxic Tuesday. This has always been one of my favorite television shows of all time. Mini series, I guess you could call it. Lonesome Dove. Lonesome Dove is so good. I should take the address off the back of the people who put it into the thrift store. There we go. But the great Robert Duvall, who's still with us to this day. At 99 or whatever age he is. Tommy Lee Jones, Danny Glover.
And
it's such a good show.
Robert Duvall. But mind you, Robert Duvall is dating a 25-year-old.
Well,
that's the only problem with Robert Duvall.
If you were Robert Duvall, wouldn't you do that?
No, I'd stick maybe between 35 and 50, so they're not that annoying and they're still good. You know what I mean?
If it was two 25-year-olds, you could say it was a 50-year-old, put them together.
That's right.
So anyway, I loved Lonesome Dove at the time. It was in fact, I've watched it several times over the years. Nice to have a physical copy of it. I do like the disc, actually. It's quite nice. The discs are quite nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Lonesome Dove.
Lonesome Dove. One of the best television westerns ever. This one, I've already got multiple copies of this movie, but it was in a thrift store and it was sealed. And I just loved the version of the cover of this. This is Major League. And it's in an I Love the 80s cover.
Oh,
So I thought, I've got to have
nice.
that. I have to have that. I mean, I have multiple copies of Major League anyway, but what the hell? Why not? It's a very different cover. They must have made a series of these I Love the 80s. And this is the Major... I've never seen it before, those covers. But what a great movie. Again, a classic comedy that you wouldn't get now. But it also has a bonus music CD inside with Aha, Echo and the Bunnymen, In Excess, and Erasure on it, amongst others. So not only do I get the movie, I get a CD. And as I say, it's sealed, never been opened.
Davina is asking a question. Was there more than one Lonesome Dove series?
There was a series after the mini-series. Yeah, they made a follow-on television series, which I talked about on a show recently, and I can't remember why I talked about it. Somebody that was starring in it was in something else that we were already talking about. And if I had any kind of a memory, I would be able to remember what show it was we were talking about. Lonesome Dove mini-series. Lonesome Dove, the series we were talking about for some reason. Oh, I think it might have been something to do with Eric McCormick? No, it was Paul Le Mat. So Paul Le Mat was in it. Paul Le Mat is an actor who did one of the voices in Rock and Rule, that show we did on Rock and Rule, the animated Rock and Roll thing. He did one of the voices, and he was in the Lonesome Dove series. He was also in American Graffiti, amongst other things. I'm not so keen on the series. The mini series was the best. Another movie which, bizarrely enough, although I absolutely adore it and love it, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, but I didn't have a physical copy of, was Master and Commander.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Master and Commander.
I got my copy.
Yeah, I absolutely adore this movie, and I love the novels that it's based upon.
Yes.
Henry Martin, if you I guess there was about 17 of them in the end, or Master Patrick O'Brien.
Well, yeah, and they actually didn't he write one to follow up with the movie or something? Like it would bring the book series into the movies. He wrote an extra book like that, or somebody did. So
I don't know if he did, because I think he may well even have been dead by the time the movie was made. The author died in 2000.
Right.
I think the movie.
Okay, so that was before that.
Yeah, so he wrote the series of Aubrey Maturin series of novels, and they are, if you've never read them, they're fantastic. And the movie did great justice to them, although I think the movie's set in round about the 11th book of the series, didn't start at the beginning. But I always wanted a follow-up movie, but we never got it, and I'm really peed off about that. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, again, in my opinion. So it's a man's movie. Everyone on that ship was a man. If they weren't a man,
I know. And Captain Jack. Oh, sorry, Brian. It's lagging on my end. I apologize.
If they weren't a man before they got on the ship, they were when they left.
And also, Captain Jack Aubrey was taken after the great Captain Cochrane from the 19th century, who was even like, they showed a few of his tricks that Captain Cochrane used to do. He started off with a sloop and finished off with quite like 8 or 10 boats. Like the man was a badass in the 1800s, using different flags and stuff like that.
Start as a lieutenant and end up as a as an admiral, with a whole fleet. That's what happens in the novels.
Exactly.
And the novels are great. They follow him through the entire career.
But the real life Captain Jack Aubrey was actually Captain or Admiral Cochrane. Check that guy out. He was a real life hero. That's where O'Brien got his inspiration for Aubrey.
Yes, indeed. And indeed, Cochrane would, if there's any, I must find a book about him, because although if you read the Patrick O'Brien novels, you pretty much get everything. But great stuff, Master.
Exactly.
Commander. Yeah. I think I already had a copy of this, but it's a different copy, so I picked it up because it just looks, it's a different cover. Another great movie, Minority Report. Or Rapport Minoritaire. I do love this movie.
Rapport Minoritaire. Very good, Brian.
Yeah. But anyway, I love science fiction stuff. Anyway, I'd forgotten Colin Farrell was in this. Colin Farrell. Fucking hell. But yeah, wasn't this a Philip K. Dick Minority Report? Yeah,
he was a cop chasing him.
Yeah, I always love anything Philip. Always love the Dick, Philip K. Dick. So my Minority Report.
Yeah.
Minority Report. I keep saying that wrong. There's a lot of extras in this, so I'm looking forward to seeing those. But now we're in an era where thought crimes and pre-crimes are actually almost happening with censorship and you that's a meme you've got there, mate. You might do something nasty because of that meme. But I do love this movie, The Department of Pre-Crime. This isn't a movie. This is a game. Everyone's raving about the really newly remastered Oblivion. I picked up a copy of the original PC box of Oblivion for like a couple bucks. Now, whether it's got everything in it that it may have came with at the time, I don't know, because I used to have one years ago and then I got rid of it stupidly. But it's certainly got the disc. And it has a couple of it's got the French and the English game guide. So being very diverse there.
Which is good.
Yeah, very diverse. So there wasn't anything else in the box, so it may well have had other things back in the day, I don't know. But still, that will go on the shelf with the other. If I see a game that I've played before that I loved, I do try and pick it up on physical now. So I like the... now you wouldn't even get a disc in the box, if you can even get a box. So Oblivion.
Yeah, you get a code.
Yeah, so funnily enough, we did Over the Top, and I got a copy of Over the Top.
Nice.
Yeah, in the thrift store, so... which I ripped to use for the stills. So no worries, we had a whole show on Over the Top. Everyone should go check it out because it was good. Right, Real Steel on Blu-ray. That was, I think, the only Blu-ray I may have got this time round. Real Steel, Hugh Jackman. I found this a fun movie. And look, it's got Canadian star power. 4 Canadians. So Evangeline Lilly, Dakota Goyo, Kevin Durand, who's a really good actor. I like Kevin Durand. He's in a lot of good stuff. And Sean Levy. So Sean Levy being the director, of course. So they're even making a point of the Canadians that are in it. And it stars an Aussie, Struth. So, fun movie. Kind of similar in some respects to Over the Top. It has similar themes. So it's funny that they happen to be next to each other in this list. So Real Steel, it's a good movie. Yeah, I enjoy it. Yes, Davina, Over the Top was indeed the best arm wrestling truck driver father-son drama you'll ever watch. And as somebody said in the comments to the show, it's their favorite arm wrestling truck driver father-son drama they'll ever watch. And it's their least favorite arm wrestling truck driver father-son drama because it can be both at the same time. It's Schrodinger's movie. So, Real Steel, Nice little pickup. I can't say I'm the hugest fans, but this was kicking around for a couple of bucks, so it's the Simon and Garfunkel concert in Central Park.
Okay.
But why not? I mean, it's not that I'm against Simon and Garfunkel. Indeed, one of my favorite albums of all time is an Art Garfunkel album called Breakaway, which I would always put in my top 10 albums of all time, even though it's not rock
Nice.
at all. It's a beautiful album. It's always made me really... It's an album I listen to it and it evokes a lot of emotions. It's a beautiful, beautiful album from like 73, 74. But anyway, this is... it's worth having, you know. It's got a couple of things. I always found them a strange couple because Paul Simon, okay, he wrote all the music and played guitar and piano, whatever, but he was a singer as well. So what did he need another singer for? Even one as good as Art Garfunkel. I always felt that kind of created a bit of a tension because Paul Simon kept saying, I want to sing more. Well, why did you team up with Art Garfunkel then? Can't have it both ways, you know. But he wanted it both ways, I've heard. So,
and ironically enough, when they first started in the early 60s, their record label named them Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. You know, I once saw a Tom and Jerry 78 RPM disc in a vintage store. And it was, the thing is, it wasn't...
Should have bought it.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't really for sale. It was sitting on a 78 RPM gramophone that was for sale. So it wasn't with all the other ones and the price on them. And I thought, well, I don't want to buy the whole damn thing, but I'd love that disc. I should have gone and said, I want to buy the disc, but then they would have said why, and I might have had to pay more for it than I wanted. Because how unusual is that they went far enough back to have 78s of them, Tom and Jerry. And Simon and Garfunkel. But anyway, the next two are, I've got multiple copies of these already, but all of them are slightly different. So I always seem to pick them up when I see them. This is the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man widescreen special edition 2-disc. There's the upside down Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
So I've got this already, but different versions of it. I just thought I'd pick it up anyway. Because I love these movies. I love those 3 Spider-Man movies. Because the second one I found was Spider-Man 2 widescreen special edition. And I've already got the box set collector's edition of this one. But it's a different cover. I thought, well, I'll get it. You know, I'm a nerd. That's the sort of thing I do. So Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. This one does come with a rather nice Doc Ock insert, which I find quite appealing. If that's your cup of tea. Is it your cup of tea? Is it your cup of cocoa? Spider-Man. Christian.
Well, to be honest with you, Spider-Man was my favorite superhero when I was growing up. And my son rebelled against me. He went with Batman, but I was always a Spider-Man fan when I was growing up. I got a lot of comics and stuff.
Yeah. I love the original TV show, Spider-Man TV show that was on.
Same here. The animated one?
Yeah, no, the live action one. Way back in the 70s. I vaguely
remember that.
I think it was in the 70s.
I vaguely remember that. I remember the animated one because I used to go home at grade school. I used to go home for lunch, and my mother would make me soup and grilled cheese, and I would watch The Amazing Spider-Man from the 60s with the jazz intro.
Well, indeed. So, exactly. Sorry. I'm waiting for a Canadian Spider-Man is here. And as he rightly says, Spider-Man is everyone's favorite hero, especially if he's Canadian.
Exactly.
So this exactly the TV series I'm thinking of is it's 1977, and it was Nicholas Hammond was the actor. So that I loved that show. It was only on for a couple of years, but it was a peak Spider-Man for me. So I've got a Scottish one for you. The Stone of Destiny. Now, there's a story behind this. You see them carrying the big stone. So the Stone of Destiny,
You told me that.
otherwise known as the Stone of Scone, Scone, which is a place near Perth, was supposedly a big lump of rock that the Scottish kings sat on to be crowned. And then when the English, the Union of the English kept stealing it and taking it down to Westminster, and then eventually the crowns were unified and it lived in under the throne in the House of Lords or wherever, or Westminster Abbey, sorry. And all the British kings and queens were crowned on top of it. These bunch of Scottish nationalists in the 1950s decided to steal it and take it back to Scotland. So it's a heist movie about stealing a big rock. Starring a young Charlie Cox,
Nice.
You'll know it, who's not even Scottish, but never mind. And Kate Mara and Billy Boyd before he was a hobbit, and Robert Carlyle before he slit people up and smashed beer bottles in their heads. So it's a true story. So it's a true story with a lot of history behind it. So check that movie out. It is a
true story. Okay.
It's a true story. Both the stone and the heist are both true. The thing about the Stone of Destiny was that it was described in literature as being a black alabaster obsidian type thing. Obsidian stone, whereas the current one that exists is a piece of lump of grey rock. So they reckon it might have been nicked at some point and a fake one substituted for it. So it was meant to have come from. It was like meant to be Jesus's bed or something. I don't know. It had a Christian religious origin. This stone. That's why it was sacred. But anyway, it's just a lump of grey rock now. But Stone of Destiny, if anyone's ever seen it. I have multiple copies of this, but I can never resist buying another one. And this is obviously one of the funniest movies ever made, Team America World Police. Have you ever seen a man eat his own head? No? Well, then you haven't seen everything. Dirka.
I'll make love to you.
That's right.
I'll make love to you if you promise me you'll never die. Honey, I will never die.
I'll never die. You're worthless, Alec Baldwin. Worthless. There's no I in intelligence.
And don't forget, it was the Film Actors Guild.
This is approved by the Film Actors Guild. Alec Baldwin. Funny. Story. So the story behind this for me is that I took my wife and kids. My kids were 16 and 14. And we went to Universal Studios in Florida from the UK. We were still living in the UK on holiday. Took them, stayed at Universal, stayed on site, spent the whole 2 weeks at Universal, had the greatest time. The first night we were there, we went to see the opening night of Team America in the cinema at Universal Studios. And I thought I was going to die laughing. And the kids, my daughter was only 14, and this is like an R-rated movie. There's some stuff in here, but she was killing herself laughing. And there was the only other people in the cinema were some students. And there's us four family people sitting there. But they kept looking around at us, and we kept laughing our heads off with each other, and we had the greatest time. It was such a good night. It was a great night. We had fun. Hey, TZ. Moving on, another Scottish themed one. The Last King of Scotland. Theoretically Scottish.
Yes,
themed.
that was a good movie.
Yeah, Last King of Scotland. The great Forrest Whitaker. And what's his name that went on to play Professor X? James McAvoy. That's it. In the later X-Men. So there he is, the Last King of Scotland with his tartan hat. Idi Amin. I mean the mood for love.
Idi Amin.
Idi Amin. I remember from when I was growing up, this is what was on the news all the time. Things like Idi Amin.
Mm-hmm.
But brilliant. Kevin McDonald, of course, the train spotting guy. This, I was showing you this when you were here, but this is one of my favorite television shows of many years, because I'm a big fan of Ken Follett. Books. This is the the mini series, The Pillars of the Earth, which if you've never seen it, anybody out there, it is, yeah. I'm going to have to get some more merch, Canadian Spider-Man. This is my hat. Christian has one of these hats. Very exclusive.
Yes, exclusive, yes. And I'm not going to wear it. That's how special it is to me.
But the next member stream I do, which I'm planning to do on Sunday, I'll give one of them away to some lucky person, one of these hats. So, Pillars of the Earth, set in the medieval times. It's awesome. It's a brilliant story, fantastic cast. Obviously, you've got Ian McShane, Matthew McFadden, Rufus Sewell, Eddie Redmayne, Haley Atwell is in it. Donald Sutherland, just the greatest. It's a fabulous television show, and it's got discs 1 and 2, and the disc 3 and 4. The 8 episodes set in the medieval times with lots of skullduggery and religious stuff and a plague. The plague is on. Right. So if you've anyone out there who's never seen The Pillars of the Earth, read the book and watch the show. Both brilliant. Tron, albeit a DVD. I've already got a Blu-ray of it. Nice. Special edition.
Nice.
Tron. I figured, you know what? I don't have the DVD of it, so I'll get it. It was only a couple of bucks. Still a fantastic movie. Not sure what I'll think about the latest one they're making. It's not focusing. There we go. I did enjoy the last Tron movie, which I've got on Blu-ray there, but it wasn't quite the same impact as the first one. With the fantastic David Warner playing the baddie. David Warner, great actor. The CPU, as it were. So Tron, original Tron, special edition. We're reaching the end of this. I've got 3 books as well. So this movie, this is a fantastic movie, which very few people have seen, but it's called The Whole Wide World, starring Vincent D'Onofrio and Renée Zellweger, and it's the real-life story of Robert E. Howard, the Conan author. So Vincent D'Onofrio is playing Robert E. Howard, and it's about his love affair or his relationship with Renée Zellweger's character. As we know, in real life, his story didn't end well, so it's worth bearing in mind. But it's about Robert E. Howard and about
really?
Yeah, so it's
yes.
It's a lovely movie. If you've never seen it, everybody watching, try and find a copy of this and watch it. The Whole Wide World. It's a tragedy, a love story, a tragedy. But it's also about his imagination, all these stories he was trying to write about Conan and create all this world. It's fabulous. Lovely, lovely film. And it's funny that we happened to do in the last few weeks on Toxic Tuesday Young Guns, because in the last 2 weeks I've picked up both Young Guns and Young Guns 2 on DVD. Now, I did already have a copy of Young Guns, but the one I got the other day was in better condition than the first one I had, so I bought it. But yeah, so I picked those up. Toxic Tuesday. Every time I do a Toxic Tuesday, I seem to see the disc somewhere in a thrift store. So that we've lost Christian again. So that was the movies I've picked up thrift-wise recently. A couple of new things in there. I did get the other day. I've been buying these. Well, I say buying them. There's only 2 so far. There will be a third soon. The Atlantean comic, Russ Leach. This is episode 2, issue 2 of volume 1, carrying on the Robert E. Howard legacy. So these are great. The first one was fantastic. So I can't wait to read this one. I've not opened it yet to read it, but I will. The Atlantean. Some great muscles, sword, sorcery, women in danger, men in danger, dragons, hydras, serpents, whatever. It's all in there. Fantastic stuff. 3 books I picked up for virtually nothing in a sale, church sale or something. I think it was a church sale. My guitar is over there. I got rid of a few guitars. I still got an amp and a semi-acoustic. And I've got the odd. I bought this because it's George Harrison's, Beatles related. So George Harrison anthology of songs. I do occasionally look through these and go, okay, that's the key it's in, and strum the chords. So I got this George Harrison one for originally $27.99. I got it for like $1. So why not? It goes with my other Beatles stuff, which I have a huge collection of, but it's got some great stuff on here. It's right up to the Cloud9 era, when we was Fab and so on. So some beautiful songs. I was a big George fan. Love George. So that's that. I also got another Beatles related book to add to the collection. I've got quite a few already over the years, but this is by photographer Terence Spencer. I hadn't seen this. I had not seen this one for a long time. These are not rare, but this is from back in the 90s, I think. 1994 this was published. And he was a photographer who took many, many of the early photographs of the Beatles, like the ones with them jumping on the bombed out London bomb site where they're jumping on the roof of the building, the hair's going. Things like this, back at the Hard Day's Night filming. He took a lot of those famous Beatles photographs, Terence Spencer. Some of them are really beautiful. I do love the black and there's something about the Beatles in black and white. These come across really well. So again, for $1 or $2, worth picking up. I'm trying to find that. So there's some early sleeves, EP sleeves and single sleeves were his work. There's an interesting one. Backstage with, I can find the right page now, with a certain Mick Jagger in the picture. So yeah, nice book. You don't see it around very often these days, but Terence Spencer. And then the final one, final. Shoot. This was brand new, still sealed, and was being sold for, I think it was $2 or $3. Can't remember exactly. It's the 50th anniversary Who history book. I couldn't believe it was sealed. Like, I've opened it because I wanted to look through it. I had a little bit of a bash in the corner, but come on, so what? So really, now we're on to the Who 60th, of course, but it was really nice to pick up a copy of this. And it's got some fantastic photographs in it, some great interview stuff, some great paraphernalia and promotional materials that they've got captured. There's the movie Quadrophenia, which I remember seeing back in the day, and I've got the copy of that and the soundtrack too. And I've got the original album, of course, different from the soundtrack. But, so it's full of great stuff, really. And as you know, I'm a big Who fan, so that was a neat pickup, given I didn't already have it. Don't you think that was pretty damn good? So, books are indeed going out of print. So there it was. That was the latest tranche of stuff. Sorry, Christian probably isn't rejoining us. Doesn't look like he's rejoining us. But thank you for being here, Christian. Thank you for visiting us. My wife and I had a lovely time, as did our little doggy. Had a lovely time when you were here. The two of you and your lovely wife. we really want to get together with you again next opportunity we get. So thanks for joining the show. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Check out my latest video, and I'm trying to work on a few more, but my latest video, which was about the bagpipes in rock, and it did quite well, given I haven't done a video for a while. I got about 600 views on that. That's pretty good. There's some few nice comments. It was a bit of fun just to pick some songs that had bagpipes in them that were not overtly Celtic or folk oriented, just rock stuff. So thank you for that. Watch that, everybody, and leave a like and all that good stuff. And I'm doing a short every day on my vinyl collection, so check those out. Also working on a video right now for the show Dark Winds Season 3, which I finally caught up on about a month late. Doing a little video review of that as I did for the other seasons. Probably will do something on Mobland, although I've talked about it a lot in other shows. And tomorrow I'm going to see a movie in Calgary. It's another Korean movie called Big Deal, which is on at that one cinema in town that shows Korean stuff. This is a movie starring two of my favorite Korean actors, amongst some other great supporting cast, but Yoo Ha-jin and Lee Ji-hoon, who are in so many good things. Lee Ji-hoon, if anyone watches Korean stuff, he's Taxi Driver, Hot Stove League, Signal. Not Hot Stove League, sorry, that was Nam Goon King. He's just in such great stuff. Taxi Driver, fantastic show. Signal was brilliant. There's going to be a Signal too. Chief Detective 1958. He's does a lot of TV. There was a great movie called Escape last year, and now he's made this movie with Yoo Ha-jin, who I saw recently in Yadang the Snitch. Also a great movie called Dog Days, which he did last year, but is also I saw him in the Battle Roar to Victory, which is a slightly older movie recently. Very, very, very well loved Korean actors, the two of them. So checking that out tomorrow, and then I'll do a review. And it's about soju, that Korean drink soju, which I actually quite enjoy when I have it now. So that's tomorrow. And as I say, member stream on Sunday afternoon, I think. Maybe I'll give one of these away and some other trinkets here and there. And then Monday's show will just be a gaming stream, Baldur's Gate 3, because I don't have the time to prep a big show, but there will be some big shows coming up, trust me. Lots of great material to work with. So, hope you all enjoy your weekend very much. Thank you for spending some of your valuable Friday afternoon with me. Thank you, Davina, for sticking stuff in the chat, info, and for modding. Thank you, D-Bud Martin, for modding. Lord Thoth, thank you for being here. Canadian Spider-Man, thank you for being here. TZ Burton, good to see you, TZ. We had, if I'm forgetting it, Sean Estep, of course, and thank you for the gifted memberships, Sean. Appreciate it very much. You're a gentleman and a scholar. And if I forget anybody, please forgive me. I was scrolling back. Sean, I think I may have got everybody, but if not, forgive me. And anybody who was watching over in Rumble, thank you for being here. And on Twitter, I will see you all on Sunday, hopefully. I'll be on Ascendant Art later tonight, on the Ascendant Art channel with Brahma and Mad, Imperatus, Slender Dad, Little Chad, all those wonderful people. We have fun. And I will be no bourbon and boarding tomorrow. Member stream Sunday. Gaming stream Monday. That's it. I think I got it all. Stay well, everybody. Keep on rocking. See you next time.